Hey there, my name is Chaya Shimon, and for the first time ever, I'm really ready to talk about my story and admit to being a sexual abuse survivor many times over. And the purpose of this series, Transformation, is all about one thing: giving that story a voice. You see, the first time I was sexually abused, I was a very little girl, and I was easily impressionable, easily able to be told a bunch of other stuff, and easily believe that and go against what I knew. And every time after that, when a guy would get his claws in me, there would be this moment where I knew I needed to fight and I needed to run, but I would revert back to that little girl who couldn't run and couldn't fight because she was too little. And then afterwards, when it would be over and, the guy, didn't rape me, but molested me or sexually harassed me or sexually, assaulted me or something like that, I'd walk away feeling so angry at me, sometimes a little proud that he didn't get the whole thing, but still so angry at me, how did you not stop this? What is wrong with you? And I would literally just keep going into that cycle. So do you understand the cycle? Did you ever have it? Do you have it? Do you know someone who has it? Do you know someone who's going through, many men and doesn't seem to be happy about it? And do you ever judge them? Because I'm here to show you another side of it. Because whether you're the one watching and judging, or you're the one who's going through it and judging, if you're blaming yourself, you're judging yourself. I want to show you a new side, one in which there's real compassion, where you can really understand, oh my God, the poor girl. And you can finally go back, because you see, when I was that little girl and someone decided to do what they did and decided to tell me that I was making it dreaming and it wasn't real and all that, a piece of me got lost in that story. And it took me years and years to actually be willing to go back to that story. And literally the last 2 years were all about grooming me to be ready to actually open that door and look beyond it. And now that I understand, and it's clicked in my head. Oh my God. See, that little girl, that piece that got lost years ago, that I lost, that piece wants to come back home. But in order for it to come back home, I need to be willing to go back to exactly where it hurts and take it back. But you see, because I wasn't properly doing that and looking, in fact, I was in such denial that those memories were blocked up with so many walls, just anything not to go there. And even as I speak, there's parts in my brain that show up, part of those walls that tell me you're lying and it's crazy and da, da, da. But it's all part of the wall that I created to protect me. And now that the wall is slowly coming down and we're taking it away, what I'm finding is that all those other times I was sexually abused and sexually harassed and all that, they were actually a part of me trying to come back home. And the problem was that since I didn't know, when they showed up, I freaked out and I became that little girl. And instead of being there to protect her and take back what was stolen, I would let it get stolen again and again and again and again and again, until I couldn't understand what was happening. And I started to think maybe they were right. Maybe I really do want to get hurt. Maybe I do want to get molested. Maybe I do want to get raped. Maybe I do want to get sexually abused. And I'm going to try to use the real words, the actual words, because I noticed that it's very hard for me. I tend to say hurt instead of molested, instead of, I call people very childlike words, because that's how I protect myself from the reality of what was. But here in this place, there is no protection anymore. If you're still here and you're watching, you want to see the real truth, the part that people will not talk about. Well, I'm going to give that to you. but I'm going to give it to you through the lens of compassion. Because whether it's you or someone else we're talking about, there is so much compassion available. And if you want to become the most compassionate person possible, if you want to become the strongest person possible, the healthiest, if you have goals and dreams, which you do, if you're sitting right here, you do, then we got to take it a step out. Like, we got to take it a step forward and go way further than our comfort zone. And that is by being willing to see another lens. You see, it's very easy to understand when I say it here that that little girl that was laying in that bed and didn't have a choice. But you know what? I'm sitting here and it's not easy for me to say that. You know that? Because there's a part of my brain that will protect him. That will say, no, but maybe I was like sleeping. Maybe I was half asleep. Maybe it wasn't real. There's a part of my brain that was created in that same moment to protect me from it, but really it's protecting him, not me. And you know what? When we fast forwarded to the first time that I was sexually assaulted, and it might not even be the first, but the first one that was really like a pivotal moment for my life, that I remember the before and the after. I remember afterwards, I was like, wait, what happened? And my first response was, wait, did I want that? Did I just have that, or did they just take that? Like, what happened? And I just want you to know that is the same little girl, just in a bigger body, in an adult body. And I also want to bring to your attention that real healthy sex doesn't leave you with that feeling. Real healthy sex leaves you feeling like invigorated and happy, and there's no question on, did I want that or didn't I want it? If you're questioning yourself all the time, did I want it or didn't I want it? Keep watching. You need to hear this. You need to hear this, because it's not your fault. If you're one of the people who always wants to know, why is this happening? How is this happening? I want you to know it's not your fault. It's not your fault. The first time that it ever happened, if you can remember what it was like, you might have hidden it really deep in your conscience. Maybe you don't even remember it. But I want you to know that that's the story that's replaying itself, because it wants to finally be fixed and healed. It wants acceptance from you. The biggest problem is that we get shamed for what they do, and then we shame ourselves. But if we could hug ourselves and hold ourselves and say, oh my God, that wasn't your fault. You didn't deserve that. And that ugly, disgusting, kind of person. And put it on him. Put the shame on them. Put the blame, like, this is not a blame game, but put the shame on them. Put everything on them. You are not at fault. You are not to be judged here. You are the victim, but you can also turn into the survivor. And that's what I'm here to talk about. Over the next few days, I want to spend time really opening up that door and going to the places that I never liked to go before, and really sharing that openly and saying some stuff I'm sure that will be triggering, but to go back and forth and saying about the past, but also saying about the present and the future, and how to show how it kind of all came together in this beautiful, beautiful journey in a symphony. And it's really available for you too. This series is me saying the stuff I needed to hear 5 years ago. This is literally for those of you out there who want a different life, or who want to understand the people that are going through this. This is for you. So if you haven't yet, subscribe to this channel. You get the notifications, see the videos as they come out, and watch how transformation will has not only happened for me, but will begin to happen in you.